Hello Bookish friends, welcome to another Bookish talk video. This Bookish talk video is also a special video of the Christie's Missing Readathon. Ever since I've started reading Agatha Christie books and talked about them with my real life or online friends, many of my friends said that they really want to get into Agatha Christie. However, they are hesitant about where to start with Agatha Christie, since she has written so many works. So I decided to recommend books according to the answers of some of the questions that I've created about a reader's preferences in reading. I think there is an Agatha Christie book for every type of reader. I want to recommend the best among your reader type. My first question is, are you a reader who likes to read an author's writing journey from the beginning? I would, of course, recommend you to start chronologically and read the first book that Christie wrote, which is also our group book, The Mysterious Affair at Styles. It is a very decent mystery book, and it is also the first book in Hercule Poirot series, in which we are introduced to the Belgian detective. And it is really interesting to see the beginning of the friendship between Poirot and Hastings in this book. My second question is, are you a reader who wants to learn the author by reading their best work, because you do not have time to read so much books? I think her best works are And Then There Were None, Murder of Roger Ackroyd, and Murder on the Orient Express. I think they are her masterpieces. My next question is, do you like reading series in order? If your answer is yes, then I would recommend The Mysterious Affair at Styles again. Like I said, it's the first book in Poirot series. If you do not want to read such a long series and you want to have the same constant quality in books, I would recommend Miss Marple series. The first one is The Murder of the Vicarage, which is also a great introduction to Miss Marple. And her third most known series are Tommy and Tuppence series. The first book, The Secret Adversary, is also a significant work because we meet Tommy and Tuppence and how their relationship starts in this first book. You might not want to commit to a series and you prefer to read standalone books by Agatha Christie, then I would recommend And Then There Were None, Crooked House, and The Man in the Brown Suit. Among the standalone novels that I've read, those three were the best for me. You might want to start with a shorter work to discover an author's writing style. Then I would recommend the short story collection 13 Problems, which can also be considered the first book in Miss Marple series, but I think it is the second book. Short stories in this collection are all very good. It really gives an idea about Agatha Christie's writing ability. I would also recommend the play of The Witness for the Prosecution. I really do like the plot of this play, which is based on a short story written by the author. And I quite like the twisted characters in this play. My third recommendation is Poirot Investigates. Although I prefer Poirot's novels, I think this short story collection is significant for learning more about the relationship between Poirot and Hastings, because in most of the short stories in this collection, Hastings do appear, and we clearly can see how Hercule Poirot's mind works in these short snippets. Next question is, do you like reading detectives at work? What I mean by that, although Christie never reveals the killer, you have an idea how the detective solves the mystery and how their minds works. For this one, I would recommend Cards on the Table. It's an Hercule Poirot mystery, but her other fictional detectives do appear in this work. some of them for the first time. I think this book is significant for understanding the Agatha Christie universe. My other suggestion is, of course, Murder on the Orient Express. Hercule Poirot literally makes lists of the suspects, and if they have the motive or opportunity for each of them. So it's one of the greatest detective works. My next recommendation is Sparkling Cyanide. In this one, there are so many conversations between Conall Race and another character who is investigating the mystery, which gives an insight into how the police detectives works. It is also quite a good mystery. My next question is, do you like mysteries filled with adventures? I would advise the earlier works of Agatha Christie for this question. My favorite is Man in the Brown Suit. It is one of the books that can also be called an adventure book as well as a mystery. The second one is the Seven Dials Mystery, the second book in Superintendent Battle series. The main characters, as well as Inspector Battle, goes through quite an adventure which resembles a spy thriller. My last recommendation is By the Prickling of My Thumbs. Although this book belongs to later works of Agatha Christie, I think the adventurous souls of the elderly Tommy and Tuppence still continues, and Tuppence actually goes through an adventure which is quite unnerving for a woman her age, but it's quite a good adventurous mystery book. My next question is, do you like mysteries with a bit of romance? If your answer is yes, I would recommend They Came to Baghdad. This is quite an interesting novel about a woman going through an adventure involving a murder and also discovers what is the meaning of true love. Second recommendation is a Miss Marple book, 950 from Paddington. Although the romance in this book is quite at the background, I think it is a very sweet romance, and it is one of my favorite romances in the books that are not romance books. And my last recommendation is a Poirot book, The Murder on the Links. Hastings' romance is quite at the forefront in this book, and it's really sweet. My next question is, do you prefer mysteries with a bit of satire? For this one, I would recommend The Partners in Crime, in which Tommy and Tuppence pose as literary detectives, and this gives quite hilarious adventures. My next recommendation is a great Marple book, The Body in the Library. Reactions of the villagers to the body of an unidentified woman is quite witty. And my last recommendation is The Seven Dials Mystery again. This book literally starts with a practical joke, and the tone of the narrator is quite witty. Our next question is, do you prefer books set in different places? For this one, my first recommendation is a Marple book, a Caribbean mystery. This book takes place in the Caribbean islands, of course. The second one is Death on the Nile, one of the really good Hercule Poirot books. This book takes place on the river Nile, of course, and mostly in Egypt. Another Poirot book, Murder in Mesopotamia, which is also quite a good mystery, takes place in modern-day Iraq. And our next question is, do you like mysteries with spooky vibes? For this one, I would recommend The Pale Horse. There are three sisters in book, which closely resembles the witches in Macbeth. Speaking of Macbeth, By the Prickling of My Thumbs is also an adventure book with quite supernatural tones. My last recommendation is Endless Night. The book deals with a curse on a land called Gypsy's Acre, so it also has spooky vibes. Next question is actually the signature of Agatha Christie books. Do you like mysteries set in small towns? There are many books that fits to that category, but I would recommend the three that I think are most significant. The first one is the body in the library. Like I said before, the residents of the village really plays a big role in this book. Next one is also a Miss Marple mystery, which is the last book in the series, The Sleeping Murder. This one is one of the best in this series. And the small town atmosphere is also present. Last one is the Stafford mystery, which is also a close circle mystery. And like the title suggests, the town and the weather conditions really plays a big role in this mystery. And the last question is, do you like serial killer books? For this one, I would recommend two books that I read and one that I didn't read yet. The first one is The ABC Murders, one of my favorite Hercule Poirot books. The second one is my favorite Agatha Christie book, And Then There Were None. And the last one is the only book that I would recommend that I haven't read yet, Murder is Easy. But many of my friends who love Agatha Christie books really like this book. So I think it's safe for me to recommend this book to all of the readers who want to read Agatha Christie. So this was my take on where to start with Agatha Christie books. Please comment down below what type of a reader are you. Maybe I would recommend other books in the comments. And if you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose start. Start means başlamak in Turkish, and başlamak is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.